Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is food fraud. So, I've had several guests, and this just happened twice in the last day. Had a guest say to me, Marcus, your food fraud TV channel is awesome. We really love it. However, aren't you worried about the chefs that you're calling out? Aren't you worried about possible retaliation? Then I had a casting agency, somebody from a casting agency said, wow, you're doing awesome with this, but aren't you afraid that one of these chefs is going to go after you, that somebody's going to retaliate basically on you? Aren't you afraid they're going to find something wrong with your menu? And I said, you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of these chefs. That's why I'm out there calling them out publicly. I don't care. If they're willing to lie, if they're willing to deceive consumers, if they're willing to rip consumers off and scam consumers, I don't care if they're Wolfgang Puck, Tom Colicchio, Steven Starr. I've called them all out, and the guy from Uncle Jack's, I've called them out because they're misrepresenting what's on their menus. They're scamming people. I go to extra lengths in my menu to understand where my food comes from, to understand how it's produced, to understand the environmental impact, to understand so many things, and to make sure that I'm serving what I'm saying I'm serving and charging for what I'm. And it's not only asking my vendor, it's when my vendor comes to me with a story or this or that or a product, I pick up the phone, I go on there and I double check, I cross-reference. I speak to the producer, I speak to the owner, I speak to the factory, to the processing plant, whatever it is. I want to know the story. I want to make sure that I understand what it is. If they're going to tell me this is grass-fed, I want to make sure that it is grass-fed, 100%. No ifs, ands, or buts, no grain supplementation if it's wild. I want to know. I want to know all that. So, no, I'm not afraid. Do I make mistakes? Of course I make mistakes. Have I misrepresented things in the past? Of course I'm sure I probably have. But you know what? It's because in the last 5, 6, 7 years, I've really been super diligent. Somebody called me out one time, probably about a year ago, and they pulled something up and they go, oh, look at this, what I found. And you know what? It was an old menu. I don't know where it even came from online. And yes, that was prior to the day that I was super strict and understood how important it is for you, the consumer, to be totally on top of it. It wasn't really like, it wasn't like I was misleading people on like farmed or wild salmon. It was just, I think I was misusing the word Kobe at one point. Because a lot of vendors call Kobe beef American Wagyu Kobe beef, and it's not. It's not even Kobe style. It's two totally different things. You know, it's along the same lines, but it's not the same thing. You can't represent something to consumers that's wrong. So, you know, I'm not afraid of these chefs. Tom Colicchio sent me some emails back after he saw the video I did of him. He didn't like what I did, but you know what? I called his restaurant. I called Craft Steak 8 times. I spoke to the manager. I spoke to the kitchen manager. I spoke to the butcher back there. I spoke to these people. They didn't want to listen to me. And I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, what in the world is, these people just don't get it, and they're arguing with me. So I said, screw it, I'm gonna put a video up. And that was like one of my first food fraud videos. I said, screw it, I'm gonna put a video up. You know? If these guys aren't gonna listen to me, something's gotta be done, right? Because no, I'm sitting there telling them, you've got to check your references. You've got to call the farm. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. And they're telling me, oh, this and that, the USDA definition of grass-fed. And I said, here's the USDA definition of grass-fed. I have it right here. You're wrong. The animals can't eat grain. So, you know, through that frustration of that first experience with Tom Colicchio Craft Steak was when I kind of said, man, I'm going to just call these guys out. I don't care who they are. I don't care. I just called out Flip Burger, and Richard Blass is the corporate consulting chef for that. I'm sorry, it's not grass-fed beef. Beantown is not grass-fed. I did the research for you. It's not grass-fed. So, you know, my menu's wide open. If you want to come in, you want to find something, it's going to take you a lot harder to find something on my menu than anybody else's menu. So I'm not afraid, you know. If you're a chef, you have an obligation. If you're a restaurateur, restaurant owner, you have an obligation to hold up these ethics called truth in menu. It's your obligation. You can't scam consumers. So I'm willing to call them and call them out on it, whether I play their phone call or whether I just call them out just like this on a video. If you know a restaurant, and I've had employees email me too, places that say, I can't believe what my boss is doing. They're calling organic chicken, it's not even organic. I mean, I've gotten some emails from people like, whoa, like, but what's going on at this place, you know? And it's happening all the time. All the time. When you go to a restaurant, get the name of the farm. If they're going to say grass-fed beef, find out where it's coming from. Find out the name of the farm. If they're going to say organic this, organic that, if they're going to say wild salmon, ask, say, is it in season right now? Ask as many questions as you possibly can. Because the more questions you ask and the less they can answer, chances are they don't know what they're talking about, or they're just willing to put anything on their menu. So if you have not seen my foodfraudtv.com, check it out. It's a cool site. I got lots of neat videos up there. I got some educational points on there. And really my main point is when I call these restaurants, I try to educate them. I try to, use that as an educational tool. And it depends on how that phone call goes. If they're willing to say, oh wow, I did make a mistake and I'm sorry, or wow, no, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Who are you and why are you investigating me? Because a lot of restaurants really like, am I under investigation? Who are you? And it's just, and it's a shame. It's just totally a shame. So those are the restaurants that I'm just willing to expose left and right because they don't deserve to be making money and scamming people. So do you know a restaurant that you think is scamming you? I'll check them out. Email me. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thanks for watching this video. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, pass it on. If you have any questions, email me. Be happy to answer. Thanks for watching.